This is a very simple program through which you are able to understand what is the difference between the class, instance and local variable. As you are able to see that in class my class we have two variables int x and int y. One variable is declared along with the static modifier, its name is y. Variable x having initial value 10 and variable y having initial value 20, as we have declared as the initial value of these variable. So when we are going to use this variable within the method, and method name is main, and in this method we are declaring another variable z, which is a local variable. So easily you are able to find out the difference between the class, instance and local variable. That local variable is always declared within the particular block, means block of the method, constructor or any conditional or iteration statement. So within a particular method, these variables will be declared. So these variables are the local variables, and instance variable instance variables having initial value uh, a particular initial value, and this initial value will be used in this way with the help of the object. Means first of all we have to create the object of this class, and then we have to use the value of the variable. Means to call the instance variable value within the static method, we need the object. So object will be created first. First of all we have to create the object. So object is required to call the instance variable. So instance variable will be called with the help of the object. So they can take the different value with the different objects. And how to call the class variable or static variable? Static variable or class variables will always call with the help of the class name. Class name is my class. So object is not required. If we are using the object, then it will not show any error, but object is not required. And the way of calling a static variable or class variable is class name dot variable name. So class name dot variable name, in this way we have to call the static method. As you have already used the math class function, so math is a class. Math is the name of the class, and all math class functions will be called with the name of the math class. Directly with the class name, these methods will be called. Why? Because all methods belongs to the math class are the static methods. All these methods, pow, sq, alt, min, max, uh, exp, abs, all there are long list of method belongs to the math class, and all methods are the static method. So within the math class they are declared with the static keyword. That's why, so when we will need this method within our program, we have to call these method with the help of class name. Means same type of the rule will be follow when we are calling a variable or method. Means both variable and methods will be called along with the name of the class. So class name dot variable, in this way you have to call the variable or method. Okay. So the major difference to calling a instance and class variable. Instance variable will be called with the object, and class variable will be called with the class name. So any kind of the change that we want to implement with the help of the object, that will not be applied if we are using the instance variable. Means in case of the instance variable, uh, we can make the different kind of the changes with the help of the object. That kind of the changes we are not able to make here. So a certain kind of restriction we are going to apply if we are using the static modifier. And local variable rule is clear to all of you. whatever value we have already taken here within the method, that value will be printed here. If any kind of modification we want to do, that should be applied within this particular block, means within this particular block of main, this variable z will be used. If we have some other method inside the same class and we are going to use this variable in different method, so this variable will not be used. And x and y both variables will be used by the different methods belongs to this class. For example, if we are declaring the different method, means you are familiar with this kind of the program also, where you are declaring a different method within a same class. So these x and y variables can be used within the different methods belongs to the same class, means a kind of the communications can be done with the help of these variable. Means from one method we are giving the value to the x, and in another method we are using the value of the x. This kind of the communication we can perform with the help of these type of the variables, and these type of the variable will be always declared just after the declaration of the class. Don't forget this thing. Instant and class variables will be declared just after the declaration of the class, and when we are going to use these variable here, so you should not to declare this variable again. Means you have declared here, means you have given a name, you have given a type as a beginning of the class. So when you are going to use, you have not to declare it again you need not to give the type of the variable or name of the variable. Same name and same type will be used when we are going to use the variable, because you know this thing, for variables and method, both types of member of the class having type and the name. So type and name will be defined here in case of instance and the class variable just after the declaration of the class, and within another method they will be used only the difference is there in the using of the class and the class variable and instance variable. They will be used in the different way. Their class variable will be used with the class name, and instance variable will be used with the object, and local variable will be used by their name only. So in this manner we can use, I have given the example of the main, because when you are going to make a communication between the different classes, at that time we can call this variable to the another class also. Variable x and y can be called to the another class also, and when you are going to call this variable to the another class, the same process you have to follow. Means for example, you have created another class, my class 1, and in that class we are going to use the variable x which belongs to the my class. So in the same manner you have to call. Means here in that place again you have to create the object. Means every time you have to create the object and you have to call instance variable, and class variables will be called with the name of the class. So this is all for today. In next class, I will give some another example of uh, some another example related to the same concept. Thank you and have a nice day.